Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, and apparently Vogue is a verb now? Anyway, my personal quandaries aside, forget your laundry and all that, but we found the briefcase that was stolen, so we know that the old lady is indeed the Cornstalker in disguise, and it turns out that actually the stolen lot wasn't the one that was stolen, because this was 115, but that was on a sticker. And now it's lot 254, which wasn't that the trading card, I think? Anyway, as we established in the last part, or possibly the part before, we were right, those cookies weren't homemade, they were homemade in a factory. In the same way that shreddies are knitted by actual grandmothers in a factory. Meanwhile, the conductor is in a bit of a foul mood, and if he catches us in here, then he'll know we're trespassing, but I suppose in the grand scheme of things, we have the ticket of the person who's in here, and our own ticket, so no matter what happens, we can... I don't see why there's an issue here, but... Anyway, also, why am I not freaking out of the fact that, oh my god, this mouse we saw earlier is actually, capable of speech and reason and whatnot? But... he says it's a piece of cake, his name is Friday, he is a professional freeloader, but he'd rather have a piece of cheese. That's why, that's the only reason why we grabbed that cheese in the last episode, so we'll bribe him with cheese. Of course there's no holes in it, because that's the thing with Swiss cheese. The more Swiss cheese you have, the more holes you have, but the more holes you have, the less Swiss cheese you have, therefore the more Swiss cheese you have, the less Swiss cheese you have. You feel me? Also, it turned decidedly yellower when we gave it to him, because pellets. Anyway, he's going to distract Jack the Devil so that we can escape here, even though we wouldn't be in any particular trouble even if we were caught. Anyway, we should go and speak to Inspector Diarrhoea because we solved the case. I just burped, but it was a very disappointing one, so I cut it out. But yes, how ironic that the inspector was right next door to the thief the entire time. Oh, fate. I don't know. It's difficult. I hate it when they say perp as short for perpetrate. That just bothers me. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, it's difficult to commentate because for some reason it's really fucking hot in my bedroom, and I do not know why. Okay, it's April. It's weird because we had about a week of wild weather in January with snow, flurries, and rain. But apart from that, it's been really mild up north. And then on the 31st of March, which was the day I flew down here, there was an absolute blizzard at the airport, which is why my plane was delayed. And since then, it's just been full-on summer. So, yes, and for you too, but that's a rather alarming statement out of context. But I was sort of completely tuned out of the game, but as we suspected, the criminal has indeed disappeared because we know who she is, and so let's just take her cutlery and her stablery by the look of it as well. Knife and fork joke. Anyway, we'll ask Shorty where she went. Or he, because... she got off at the last day. I'm allowed to laugh. It was the Cornstalker in disguise, and he's a lot younger. So, yeah. So, as far as we're aware, the Cornstalker has stolen the thing and gone. So there's not really a case to be had at this point. We know the Cornstalker did it, but the Cornstalker said he was going to do it in the letter anyway. But then again, that doesn't really solve the mystery of the briefcase that we found was not the thing that was supposed to be stolen. So the Cornstalker has stolen the wrong thing. So therein lies the deception, I suppose. So yeah, Daria's been detained in here, and the Cornstalker actually got away before the conductor turned up, but she's too stupid to know any different, plus she's... I don't know, it's what's the word? I actually don't remember the word, not platonic, cathartic, to have Jack the Devil have his arse handed to him, and also bugger all. And I remember at 2 points in this episode, and I don't remember where they are, there are typos, and that bothers me. One of them is... we may have seen it already, but like I said, I was distracted by this random summer heat, even though it's only spring. Somewhere they spell it's as in belonging to it with an apostrophe. No, you don't do that. Also, the paper we found is the backing for this sticker. So that is really incriminating for Eric the floppy red beret hair guy and the toothpaste man. But yes, is it? I think it may be in this conversation. We may have just gone past it, I don't remember, but And I don't remember what the other typo is, I just know that there's two, and one of them is, like, oh, that's it is so-and-so. Like, no, you only put an apostrophe if it's, like, it is. Without an apostrophe, it means belonging to it. Like, you wouldn't spell his H-I-apostrophe-S. So that's kind of the simplest way of remembering it. So, yeah, so did she seriously count fungi in that, or is she just bad at counting? Yes, let's just mush our heads together, go full fusion like Steven Universe, which I never actually watched, but I'm considering it. I'm more of a Gravity Falls man myself, but there's no reason why I can't have one and not the others. Also, I've had Over the Garden Wall recommended to me. Like, that's supposedly the new Tumblr Triforce. The sequel to Super Hulock is Gravity Falls, Steven Universe, and Over the Garden Wall, and the combined fandom is called Steven Falls Over. And this amuses me greatly. Anyway, Toothpaste Man has also twigged that something's not quite right with the briefcase. In fact, it's just hit me. This whole deception thing, where we're trying to find a certain stolen thing, like, we've been deceived about which thing's been stolen, and as you can probably tell by the length of this video, and I will spoil it now, we do wrap this up in this episode. So, in the span of 3 episodes, we've solved a mystery involving what's inside those red boxes. So in every sense, well, actually not in every sense, because there aren't any underwear involved, but in 2 of the 3 senses of the expression, this has been a briefcase. Ah! I think I made that joke before, but it was part of a Tumblr video, and that was like a year ago. Anyway, it seems like Diarrhoea's prompting us for what to say, and I suppose we're at something of an advantage, because, as we're about to see, he doesn't believe that we're actually a detective, even though we are. We are licensed by the Great Detective Society. And so he does, like, he's a bit more careless around us. Or, so we're led to think anyway, because he doesn't take us seriously. Hello, Inspector Diarrhoea. But of course, he thinks that because she's the real police, she'll do something about us, but actually we're also the real police, except we're a real detective, but not... We're freelance or something. So, plot twist, Diarrhoea's on our side. And so just to confirm our suspicions, indeed, the numbers on the tags have been swapped over. So, for whatever reason, the Cornstalker has stolen the trading card rather than the artifact that he was going for. But, weirdly enough, Inspector Diarrhoea is actually about to unravel the mystery for us, and, well, okay, one thing first, that the final piece to the puzzle, which would allow even Inspector Diarrhoea to work it out, is, well, Friday was hiding in there somehow. Now, there's something that I missed completely. There's something really glaringly obvious in that bag, but I talked to Diarrhoea first, just in case, but nope. Look at this. We've found something in his bag. It's a trading card, lot number 254, as I recall. So, clearly, well, I would explain it, but Diarrhoea's got it on fleek, as it were. So, there we go. Swap it is lot number. You don't do that. Like, no, behave. Which, I believe that's the first of the 2 typos. So yeah, it turns out that the announcement letter was in fact a forgery, or possibly not, and well, the Cornstalker was going to steal the thing, so he swapped the cases over and stole the other thing instead. In fact, I think you already said that the trading card is just as valuable as the antique, because one's a rare collectible and the other's an old rare collectible, essentially. Yay, they killed Eric! The floppy berry ass. Yeah, he's a coward because he ran straight at us. He went balls out, balls deep, running straight at us. Yeah, that's totally cowardice. Squee! Yeah, her travel sickness clearly isn't working out for her. Which means that we must proceed... Yeah, we must proceed without her. And something I don't get here, and I investigate it forthwith, is... cabin C1 there. Wide open. It heavily implies there's something of note in there. But there isn't. There's no reason to go in here. Like, going in here is not a story requirement. Like, this is Noodle Lady's room, but she got booted off at the last station, so there's no purpose to coming in here, at all. It's just sort of... I suppose that's implied to be where the Cornstalker was hiding during that last conversation. Hello, we're just going to ignore you. And... where do we go from here? Ah yes, we check out this big-ass door, because it's the only place the Cornstalker could conceivably be at this point. I know you do have to check it a couple of times at some point, but this is not that point. So, I believe first we must consult... Yeah, we haven't spoken to these guys in a while, so we'll consult the people. And I will say, this scene and the scene before with, when Diarrhoea was explaining how the crime occurred, I got so much slowdown when recording that, like, it was going at a snail's pace. So even though this is a 15-minute video, it took about half an hour to record it all. Anyway, Chloe's complaining that there's noises coming from the roof, and Penelope has discovered there's something behind the door that doesn't open. But yeah, that, in case you were wondering, that slowdown, but which for some reason doesn't turn up in the recording, but it does in the live playing, that's why I post-commentate DSLPs. Not that you'd know, because this is the second of two, but if I ever do any future DSLPs, unless I get better capture stuff, it's probably going to be post-commentary. Anyway, we need to establish that we can't get through that door, and, well, we know that we need to be in there, so why don't we just ask for the key? And while we're here, let's caress his spiky ball, because that's something you want to fondle and put on the touch list. Anyway, we need the freight car key, and we have police powers, so we will arrest your ass if you don't comply. Give us the thing! Wait, what's this, Mr. Sparkly Ass Eyes? Wait, it's nice to know that we do hold some authority over him, even though we simultaneously do and don't. But it is, like, not comeuppance, but, like I said, cathartic, that Jack the Devil isn't quite so omnipotent or omnipotent or whatever you want to pronounce it as. Like, he's not so almighty after all, and he is still afraid. So that makes him all the more human as a character, although he's an only rather than a human, but still. Character development, it is a thing! Although I don't think we see him ever again after this case, apart from in side quests and stuff. And that reminds me, while we're here in the last part of this case, I mentioned in the last episode, well, the 3 episodes ago, I'm not going to do the bonus side quests that are unlocked as a result of this case straight after this one, because I think there's only one that's unlocked as a direct result of beating this case. So I'm just going to save that. I'm going to lump it in with the case 3 post game. So I'll just move straight on to case 3 in the next episode. Yes, we'll just consult Cromwell and see if he knows how to pick a lock, and apparently we need a tension wrench if that's even a thing. Burp. Again with the disappointing burps. So, this is why we needed the cutlery, so we can break a lock and be taught table manners at the same time. And fulcrum, leverage, action, penetration, exasperation, perspiration, cha-cha-cha. Yeah, anyway, let's pick that... I was about to say pick that ass lock. Like, no! We're just breaking through a really fortified door. For that matter, why would a freight car be so heavily fortified anyway? Legasp. It's the Cornstalker. I don't know, I wanted to mispronounce his name humorously and I got nothing. But he doesn't seem all that bothered that we've caught him because... Well, I mean, you're cornered, aren't you? Just give back the thing. Yeah, just show off the thing. Now, I have a feeling that artifact is going to be rather important later down the line. But for the moment, it's just a stolen artifact. Maybe it's just me being... Why are you hopping into a barrel? Okay. You have an escape pood. Like if you just stick in an extra O, it becomes an escape pood, and this amuses me. But apparently it's not working, so... That gives us a crucial extra minute or so to somehow stop him from getting away and recover the artifact. Well, there it is. It's about to... Like, they spell break correctly here, but the next time they say emergency break, they misspell it as emergency romper, as I say in Spanish. Like break as in to make broken. See? That's not how you spell break in this context. Yeah. Anyway, this guy's we're pushing all of Jack the Devil's buttons. We tricked him into thinking that we can arrest him, and we're framing him as a freeloader because we know that'll make him go berserk. So, you show him who's boss. Punch him in the face. But I wouldn't advise striking the barrel just in case it triggers the mechanism. I was right. But now, watch this following thing. He was shoved out with so much force that he burst through the ceiling of the train head first. But that costume, like, is that made of, like, titanium or something? That must have really hurt, unless he's related to Mario, Jumpman Mario. Anyway, kind of a running joke at this point. Cornstalker calls us Touch Detective. Daria wonders what that means, and we say no. Anyways, a little bit of post-case blurb, and while Mackenzie's talking about what happened next, I will be saying I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons, and in the next episode we're going to jump straight into case number 3. And, let me know if you're enjoying this series, because it's fun and different and weird, and it deserves the attention. And also, Diarrhoea got off the train in the middle of nowhere, which is unfortunate, because that makes no sense. Anyway, bye-bye.